Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode, another parking lot version of See It or Skip It reviews with me, Rob, and my co host with the most,
Jim.
Jim and I just got out of the theater where we saw Cocaine Bear, written by Jimmy Warden, directed by Elizabeth Banks, starring Brooklyn Pierce, Kerry Russell. Who else, Jim?
Isaiah Whitlock Jr., Christian Convery, Ray Liotta in his close to his last role, I believe, and Matthew Rhys, Kerry Russell's husband, has a brief cameo. But yeah, all kinds of folks.
Yeah, you know what? It is based on a true story, and I'll get into the historicity later, probably right before I run down Tim Hortons for a while. But let's cut to the chase. Jim, Cocaine Bear, see it or skip it?
I see it.
I'm going to give it an even more positive see it. Yeah, see it. It was fun. Why are you recommending it?
It's a real weird mix of, I think, traditional movie storytelling. They even go with a bit of it's set in the 80s, so they go with a bit of an 80s soundtrack. Mark Mothersbaugh from Devo is the music director there for the movie. And it has these moments of real typical 80s kind of not quite disaster movie, but then it's also intercut with moments of amazing gore. And the tense point for me later on becomes how many lines are they going to cross? Like what are they going to, there's a couple of things where you go, ooh, are they going to do that? And yeah, it's a good movie. They kill their darlings, some of them in this, and it's a little bit of freedom there anyway.
Yeah. For myself, what I liked about it, I loved the way they kind of rode that line between horror and comedy, and I think they did it really well. There's moments where I was laughing my ass off. Yeah, Elizabeth Banks really, I think, knocked it out of the park. I'm not saying that it's going to be on my 10 best of the year, but a great little February movie. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. She understands with comedy, you got to keep those jokes coming, and then the odd one that doesn't land can not land. Oh, looks like we're out of light. Just a sec, folks. We do have an emergency option
by the Ionic.
Jim, what else would you add before I get into the historicity?
Some really interesting, it's some of the actors, actors really sort of crave sometimes an interesting death in some of their, and I'm not going to say who dies. Somebody does, but
more than somebody. It is a comedy horror after all.
Yeah, and boy, they really go to town on some of the. You can see the characters wearing this proudly on their sleeve, like having it proudly in their CV that I was finished off by a bear in this movie, and they get kind of creative about it in some places. But that's kind of the. Like that's the whoa kind of line there.
Yeah. That's a great point. Yeah, some of these performers are going to be dining out on this is how I died.
Yeah.
One thing on the historicity, yes, they say it's based on a true story, folks. And yeah, kinda, I guess. This plane full of drugs, that really did happen. It was dumped over a national park in
Georgia.
In Georgia. The thing is, that poor bear, the actual bear in question, it immediately died of a heart attack. What did you say is surrounded by?
40 opened containers of cocaine that had fallen from this or been thrown out of this plane. But also they took its corpse and they mounted it in the Kentucky for Kentucky Fun Mall. Just great. Just, just super respective of wildlife. And
all right. One other thing to add. We're at a McDonald's of all things. I'm sure you're asking, why are these guys at a McDonald's instead of a Tim Hortons in Prince Edward Island? That's right, the land of Anne of Green Gables, a franchisee that owns a number of Tim Hortons. bought an apartment block, small apartment block, is now evicting everyone so that they can bring in foreign temporary workers to staff their Tim Hortons over the busy summer tourist season. So they've created homeless people so that they can exploit foreign workers, charge them some rent, make a little dough.
Mhm.
Who knows what's going to happen in the winter when these poor workers get kicked out of the country. And it's really just because it would be easier to buy a home, boot people out of it, and fly in foreign workers than just pay a decent living wage. And until I hear that Tim Hortons has repudiated this franchise owner, those people are no longer evicted. You know what? I can't set foot in a fucking Tim Hortons. Anyway, there's my rant on that. You
Yeah,
want to add anything to
fair
that, Jim?
enough. It takes a lot to make McDonald's look like the good corporate citizen, but I think
Tim Hortons found a way.
yes.
All right, folks. I think that's about it for now. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Stay warm. Cheers.